of Revival Today Church. We know some of you are moving, we know some of you are interested in moving, and we want you to know we put a special package together just for you. What I want you to do is go to revivaltoday.com/moving. Fill out that form, and then once we get that form, we'll send you a special package that's full of resources to help you get to know Pittsburgh. We're so excited. We know you are so excited, and we can't wait to see you at Revival Today Church.
Welcome to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as Adalis and I are here to announce our next big move, biggest move we've ever made for Revival Today. Behind me is a building that will look nothing like it looks right now when we finish. We're on just under 5 acres of property that we've just finished purchasing, which is going to give us the ability to have a state-of-the-art studio. And in that studio, something I've wanted to have for a long time, which is a live studio audience. It's going to be a 500-seat building when we finish with it that'll give us the ability to touch the world with our broadcasts. This facility is going to give me the ability to do what I've really missed, which is having you in the audience to minister to personally. Obviously, you can't beat the reach of digital media. We touch the whole world every day, but we have the ability now with this to lay hands on people, pray for people that are sick, a place where you can bring people that are drug addicted, demonized, and really give them the ministry that you can't get on YouTube and Facebook. I can't wait. And then beyond that, we're going to announce the launch of Revival Today Church. We're going to hold Holy Ghost church services every Sunday morning. I'll be there most Sunday mornings. This isn't going to be like some little side project. We're going to give you and your family a place you can go that's a soul-winning church that values the presence of God, where you can get prayed for and ministered to, where there's not a critical race theory lecture or a mass and social distancing 10 minutes of no talking to anybody in the lobby. None of that. We're going to have a place where you're free and where you're free to experience the presence of God.
I'm incredibly excited because I know a lot of you have been asking about different meetings and events that we couldn't have during COVID, and trust me, we tried so hard. So this really frees us up to do everything that we want to do with healing meetings and women's conferences. So I am so looking forward to seeing you and having you be a part of this.
So I want to give you a twofold call to action. Number one, if your church turned in to a liberal nightmare in 2020 and you need a place to go, I would be happy to have you at our church. Number two, if you are a partner or a friend of our ministry, Revival Today, this is the biggest move by far we've ever made. By the time we finish remodeling that building, the acquiring of the property, you're looking at a couple of M's. So if you would stand with us now, I'll say thank you ahead of time. Pray and ask the Holy Ghost what He would have you to do. You've been so generous, and I thank you ahead of time for your extreme generosity. I know I speak on behalf of my wife, everybody here at Revival Today, when I say we love you very much. And now I can say I look forward to seeing you face to face here at the new home of Revival Today.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
To Crypto Friday here on Check the Market. We got a great show planned for you today. Going to be going into some cryptocurrencies. Good morning, Lyric. and Joshua. Libby, good morning. Christophoros got his Red Bull. I think he's sworn off coffee at this point. We're just going to go with Red Bull. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Check the Market. Make sure you share the broadcast with everybody who's interested in crypto and everybody who's not interested but should be interested. There, we got a couple good pictures. Let's see where the markets are at pre-market today. Futures are down slightly. We'll be looking at cryptocurrencies here in a little bit. Looks like cryptos are down a little bit too. Everything's down. Good morning, Cami. John, D&D Investments. Julia from Florida. Stock Market Samurai's on. Welcome, everybody. Shanette. Joshua's still in on Tesla and Palantir. I'm not in on Tesla, but Palantir, yes. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate it. Market's going to open in about 30 seconds. Let's see where Bros is at this morning. $48 a share. Man. It was briefly over $50 yesterday. Good for Dutch Bros. And the market's open. And I will not be cleaning this up. No! We've got a special guest with us today. Doug Johnson. You can bring him in. Welcome, Doug.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good.
Let's give him a round of applause, everybody. Emoji hand clap for Doug Johnson. Welcome to Check the Market for Crypto Friday. Yeah! Nice. Wearing the Check the News merch. I like it. We got people on from everywhere. California, Kenya. So we'll get into some cryptocurrencies today. So cryptocurrencies are down slightly today.
Good buying.
Good buying. Buy the dip. All right, let's get right into it. So, Doug, what's the crypto market looking like? Are you still bullish? Are you bearish?
I'm definitely bullish.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Even with all the news about the SEC regulation and all of those things?
Yeah, because the SEC, there's so much DeFi out there, that they won't be able to control it. Like they say they're going to go after exchanges next.
Yeah.
But how do you go after something that's decentralized, where nobody's in control of it, that someone created it, and now it's its own ecosystem, so it's running on its own?
Yeah.
So if you have like Pancake Swap or QCoin, where it's just like who do you go after? It's like going after the leader of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You can't attack it. It's just out there. It's working, and this is just like the very beginning of it. So I'll kind of get into that a little bit later on. with some of these things that are coming out. That's pretty exciting. But yeah, super bullish. I don't think the SEC is going to be able to attack it. They might go after Coinbase, one of the most popular ones. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything there. And XRPs, they weren't able to touch XRP, so that's going to set precedents for the entire cryptocurrency space. When this all gets settled out, because they'll probably end up settling, I think XRP is going to get labeled not a security. And that's going to, I think that's going to be the thing that blows the whole lid off of all of this, to lead it into that.
So you think that XRP is going to be labeled a currency and not a security?
I don't know what they want it labeled as. I would think that's probably maybe like a digital currency, and they have a new definition of it.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to get what they want, and I think it's going to be in the best interest for them.
Yeah.
So.
Man.
Yeah.
All right, let's pull up the first article. Did you see this? What Ray Dalio said?
I think I did, but yeah. We'll
about Bitcoin. All right, we'll get into this a little bit. Ray Dalio says if Bitcoin is really successful, regulators will kill it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You agree with it?
I mean, they'll try to.
Yeah.
They'll kind of like what they did with gold. Like gold was never really killed, but I think they'll force people to but it won't be successful. I mean, that's the whole key to this thing. It won't be successful in what they wanted it to be, which was the global bridge asset.
Yeah.
It's too slow. It's too costly, and they can't scale it.
So that's one of the questions that I had for you this morning is, in terms of applications, because I know there's two schools of thought when it comes to Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin as a currency application, and then Bitcoin as a store of value like gold.
Yeah, and that's where it will be successful, as a store of value.
So that would be like the camp that you're in, that Bitcoin is a store of value, but it's not a currency.
Right, and to that extent, if it's successful in that extent, they won't kill it and they won't be able to.
Yeah.
Because look what happened with China. Like China shut down all the mining, and it picked up in the rest of the world. We didn't see anything like what I was expecting to see, which was the pause in the algorithm to recorrect itself. The difficulty, it didn't happen. It ran perfectly fine. So that was kind of proof that a government, no matter how much control they have over it, can really do too much to its long-term, viability. Yeah. But they wanted it to, all the Bitcoiners wanted it to be the bridge asset, the currency.
Yeah.
And a store of value. Yeah. Like I could see in the future, it could be a great store of value for a long time hold, probably longer than 10 years. I think it's going to be probably one of the best performing assets. That's going to get less and less.
Yeah. Huh.
So what do you think about that?
I think it's good as a store of asset, just because of different stories that I've read coming out of El Salvador, where it's taking too long. Like you said, people are having problems with it. There's fees that are associated with it where they buy something and it ends up costing, way more than what it was supposed to cost, up to $18 in some cases, which is huge. And so I think that it's probably, watching El Salvador is going to be very important, because that's going to decide. I think that's going to decide whether or not Bitcoin is going to be used as a currency, or whether it's just going to be a store of value, or even used for major transactions. But for everyday, like small transactions where you're buying a coffee with it, and things like that. I don't know if that's going to be the case after watching this. Now, obviously, it's just been rolled out in El Salvador, so we don't know exactly. I would give it at least 3 months, maybe even a year. Thank you, Becca.
But I don't think they'll get that long out of it.
You don't think? You think it's going to end up?
I don't think it'll last that long. Yeah, for that reason. But also the Lightning Network that they were like boasting about, all the Bitcoin people that would, help them do like a transaction for a coffee.
Yeah.
It's a failing system because the miners can't, if they do it, they're taking a loss in electricity costs. It's not profitable.
Yeah.
So when you have a system that's based on the necessity of miners making a profit so they can continue doing it, the long term, it's just not viable right now. So, and I don't think they'll be able to fix it unless electricity gets very cheap.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're not, where they have like sweatshops over in China, if you can't be profitable there on the Lightning Network, I don't really know too many other places you can be.
Yeah.
Maybe some like green, if you have battery packs and I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing. You need something that's cheap and fast.
Yeah.
So it can move a lot of volume.
So a different cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Whereas Bitcoin would then just be like your savings account that you just convert into the other cryptocurrency when you want to pay for something.
Right. Like if a country wants to hold gold.
Yeah.
Bitcoin would be that same thing, but more efficient.
Yeah, because you don't have to build vaults and whatnot.
Right. And you can move it faster.
Yeah.
I compare Bitcoin to gold, the digital form, because, you're not going to shave off $1.50 of gold to buy your coffee. You're buying it to hold it, an ounce of it or, a kilogram of it. Nothing about gold is a good form of currency. It's a good store of value, so governments can hold it and store it that way, so it can keep value in its currency, which we might see.
Yeah, no, I think you're right about that. I think that it's a good store of value, and I know that there's a lot of, Bitcoin people out there that would disagree with that.
Yeah.
When I look, I mean, if you just enter in XRP in the in your search bar on Twitter, I mean they get hammered by the Bitcoiners because. But I think, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think it's because they are scared of XRP.
Terrified.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, imagine getting Bitcoin at like $7, making millions on it, and you're still holding it, and you see these other cryptocurrencies out there. You become like an emotionally attached to your investment.
Yeah.
Where it becomes like a borderline religion, and it was built, in 2010, right after the financial crisis in 2010.
Yeah.
So people were like hating banks. Like banks did all these terrible things to people, over leveraged, and then Bitcoin comes along and it was touted as like you can be your own bank. You don't need to rely on. So I kind of get it, but like the reality is it's not built good enough to be what they wanted it to be back then. So you have these like Bitcoin maxis that just, it becomes more than just an investment. It's like a lifestyle, and you're, if there's something competing against that, and then they're working with the banks that you hate so much, whether it's good or not, or a good investment or not, you're not going to go for it.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. Let's see the next article. Canada's Mad Max supports Bitcoin, says, I hate how central banks are destroying our money and economy. So this guy is let's read the article. He's a congressman or a former minister. Maxime Bernier, the leader and founder of the People's Party of Canada, has revealed his support for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. He's a former Canadian foreign minister whose supporters have nicknamed Mad Max. According to an ECOS poll, the PPC has 9% support nationally, which is higher than the Green Party but well below Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party and the Conservative Party, each with around 30%. Continue.
Is it probably right to call this guy JFK?
Yeah, I guess. The JFK of Canada. Many people are asking if I support Bitcoin and cryptos. Of course I do. I hate how central banks are destroying our money and economy. I'm more of an old-fashioned gold and silver fan, but cryptos are another new and innovative way to counter this that should be encouraged. Bernier has long been vocal in criticizing how his government's policies hurt the economy and the people. On June 9th, he commented on the Bank of Canada holding the current level of policy rate, tweeting, "Yes, continue to print money, debase the dollar and force all prices higher, impoverish the poorest, fund Trudeau's gigantic deficit, distort the economy, fuel the housing bubble, and artificially boost the stock market. You moronic Keynesian bureaucrats."
I like this guy.
So it's safe to say that he's a not a Keynes, but a Mises economist, an Austrian economist.
Okay.
In August last year, he tweeted, "What's that?"
I'm not a fan of the central banks either.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I am definitely not a fan of Keynesian economics. In August last year, he tweeted in response to the news of the U.S. Federal Reserve making major commitments to ramping up inflation. He wrote, "These crazy Keynesian bureaucrats will do anything to dilute the purchasing power of your dollars and make you poorer." He noted that at the time, the Bank of Canada studied the same policy some years ago and may implement it too. So this is the biggest argument for Bitcoin and for cryptocurrencies. That it, because of the central banks, and that is why it's gaining popularity. But
the Bank of Canada was one of the first people to, or groups, or central bank, I think, to test XRP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a currency or
as a settlement.
I see.
For settlement purposes.
Yeah.
So like to settle between its currency and maybe the US dollar or something like that.
Yeah. I know that these central banks are all running scared of cryptocurrencies and running scared of Bitcoin. But with all these billionaires, like, you know, I know not Ray Dalio, but Mark Cuban, Elon Musk, and even the ones that own hedge funds, Steve Cohen, a bunch of these billionaires that are heavily getting into Bitcoin, and they're increasing their allocation to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Don't you think that is going to keep the central banks from killing it?
Well, I don't trust Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Like when it was at the bottom of the market, he was called. This is after he toted it in 2017. He was saying it was the best when it was at the top, and then at like 5,000, 4,000 Bitcoin, he was saying that it was a scam. I was like, man, I thought this guy was invested in it.
I see.
So I don't trust that guy with whatever he says. He's part of that group.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, I think he just likes to troll people.
Yeah.
I think he just enjoys it way too much. I like that guy. But I don't trust him in his financial advice, like Dogecoin. Are you kidding me? But there is a guy, Hutchinson, that's a part of the digital Galaxy group or something like that.
Yeah.
They are the big players in this, and they're going to be the new, like, I think they're going to be the IMF of the
cryptocurrencies.
Because they're that connected.
Yeah.
With central banks and all this kind of stuff, and I think that's really who's controlling all of this. I don't think it's the billionaires. I still think it's the central banks that wanted this all to come into play.
Yeah.
And it's really well. But that just means that there could be a huge wealth distribution. If Mark Cuban really is buying right now, and like he didn't buy back when he was like talking crap about it.
Yeah.
He's an idiot, and a bunch of people are going to make money off of him, like a bunch of average Joes.
Yeah.
If he's buying right now. So that's kind of how I feel about those billionaires. I don't think they could. I mean, BlackRock, right?
Yeah.
They're like the biggest owners of money in the world. So they could dump the market, and Mark Cuban or none of them could really do anything about it. They own way more money and equity and all this kind of stuff so they can't touch it,
But BlackRock has stayed out of it.
No, they own Bitcoin.
Oh, they do? I thought that the chief investment officer of BlackRock owned it personally.
Yeah, no, I think they added it to their portfolio within the last couple of weeks, or said they did. I don't know if they did it way before.
Yeah.
But they have some.
I see. So, well, see, but that's interesting to me. If BlackRock, Standard Chartered, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, they're all opening research divisions. They all have high net worth clients that are interested in cryptocurrency. And that's what leads me to believe all the people that say that cryptocurrencies aren't going to be around, that this is just a fad, they're going to kill it, whatever. This is what leads me to believe that that's not going to happen. Because these are the people that fund the politicians. These are the people that give money to win elections. So this is why I don't think that there might be regulation that comes down the pipeline, but I don't think that they're gonna kill it like Ray Dalio thinks, or some other people that.
You're right in that manner, right?
Otherwise, these banks, because these banks wouldn't be investing, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars into investment and research of these cryptocurrencies if it's not something that they think is serious.
Yeah, I think they already know everything they need to know about it. I think they've been researching this stuff since probably 2016, 2015. I know basically in 2018, every bank in America had a cryptocurrency specialist.
Yeah.
And they weren't talking about it back then,
Yeah. So back then, a lot of the people, like high net worth clients and investors, weren't interested in it yet. But you're saying the banks already had cryptocurrency specialists just to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, all of them. I mean, Bank of America had a patent out in 2018 using XRP in the patent.
Yeah.
And found it in the patent things. And they submitted that back in 2018. So to submit something like that and how it will work, you'd have to have a pretty good understanding of it well before that.
Yeah.
You just like sketch something, this is Bank of America we're talking about.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives you an insight of where they're at in this market, even though they might not have said they might not have made like bold statements like they're buying or something like that right now.
Let's talk about stablecoins a little bit. I know we talked about this before. We talked about Tether and US dollar coin and some of the shady stuff that went on with Tether. Do you think that eventually stablecoins will be replaced by CBDCs? Or do you think that they will exist as an alternative?
Yeah. So it's either going to be that, or they're going to adopt a working stablecoin, that's already in process, like that's already a working system.
Yeah.
And they'll take it over. I kind of lean more towards they're creating their own. But sometimes it's easier just to buy out the guy, and they have the money and the military to do it.
Yeah.
Right? they got the law on their side. So it could be. I'm like indifferent on that. I don't know which way it's gonna go, but it's gonna go one of those ways.
Yeah. Do you think that if that happens, it's gonna wreck the market, the crypto market, temporarily?
No, because I don't think so. I think that's the way it's all going, anyways.
Yeah. Okay, so.
What do you think? Do you think it would wreck the market?
I think it would definitely cause a level of distrust again in the market, because now you're taking away something, because stablecoins aren't controlled by the government. They're controlled by whatever company is issuing them.
Right.
So now you're taking away the stablecoins and you're putting the government back in. I think that caused a level of distrust in the system at that point again. And now everybody who's highly libertarian and is in this wholeheartedly because it's a decentralized system. Yes, it's still a decentralized system, but it's going to cause a level of distrust. So I think it could roil the market a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing if it does.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, if you think it's going to be a long-term play out or just like a short. Yeah. So that's a good point. I think that's accurate, because it probably would create a lot of people to sell. But what are they selling into?
Yeah, they're going to sell into US dollar, euro, whatever.
Yeah. So if it's, how much distrust do you have? So much trust that you keep your cryptocurrency, like all the libertarians, are they going to keep it in Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Or are they going to get afraid and pull it out into the dollars that they supposedly distrust?
Yeah. No, but that's their biggest argument. Like if you look at them tweeting away, that's their biggest thing is like, decentralization, freedom from regulation, freedom from the government. But then this would kind of derail that argument a little bit.
Yeah.
If you take away something that's central to the crypto market.
Right. Well, but if you leave it in there, you're still free from the market potentially, because if you can keep your Bitcoin in Bitcoin and do your trading, or like there's other anonymous coins like Monero and all that kind of stuff. If you can keep it in Monero and say, hey, I want to do business with you, but will you accept Monero? Then you're outside of that USD, whatever. That's the stable coins.
Yeah, that is true. There's still ways around it for them.
But for the normal investor that doesn't care about like being separate from the central banks, I think they'll pull out because they're afraid. I think cryptocurrencies would drop because of it. Yeah. But logically speaking, you wouldn't. Yeah. If you're a libertarian.
For Ethereum, what's going on with the miner fees on Ethereum? Can you explain what miner fees are? Explain what miner fees are, and then what's going on with Ethereum, and could this cripple Ethereum? What do you think?
Tough question. I would say the miner fees suck because I'm in that strong token. Yeah. And I have to transact. Like, speaking from experience, there was times where it was eating up almost 90% of what I was making. Now, they're not so bad. Like, they really aren't. I'm actually very profitable on it right now. Okay. So Ethereum's extremely strong in the NFT market, but there's other cryptocurrencies out there. Like, this is going to be the new thing. So, and I think there's ways to make the miner fees or proof of stake and stuff where they can make it a lot cheaper to transact. And that's what I would be worried about on Ethereum. If they can bring out Ethereum 2.0 and do the staking, then they'll be competitors. And everybody's confident that's going to come. And if it can come soon and not be wicked late to the party, because they already have so much market share in this area, they have like a huge ecosystem. Yeah. They'll be there long term. if for whatever reason the staking, the Ethereum 2.0 doesn't come out, there's a bunch of people like Solana, a bunch of other cryptocurrencies that are going to eat them up.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I think. I think it's probably worth a bet to hold Ethereum for long term. But pay attention, because if there's somewhere else that starts popping up pretty quick, which I think it can happen and is happening, you might see Ethereum go the ways of Bitcoin.
Yeah. So you think that Solana or Cardano or one of the others could take over?
Yeah, Cardano, we'll see. I like actually, that's one of my ones that I recommended. But because that's going to be coming out. If they can create the ecosystem, I think they're still a ways off, but things happen really quickly in cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, ADA, that's a good one. Yeah. What do you think about Ethereum? Do you think the same thing, or do you?
I mean, I'm invested in it. I put money into it every month. So I buy, and I've been dollar cost averaging. So I buy Ethereum every single month. I like Ethereum because of all the applications that it has.
Right.
So, it's not just NFTs, but other applications and other cryptocurrencies that are in Ethereum's ecosystem.
Yeah.
And so it's huge, and I think it still has a lot of potential. But going through Twitter and reading articles and stuff about the miner fees, how somebody is trying to move $50 worth of whatever, and it's costing them $200 in mining fees. That's something that could put a serious crimp in Ethereum and cause those. And that's the reason why Cardano and Solana have gone up in price. I think that it's mainly because of the miner fees in Ethereum and because of the issues that they're having there.
Yeah, and I think Ethereum, if they can get that hashed out, I think it'll overtake Bitcoin this bull run. It's so close to doing it, and I think it can easily do that. I think it's a good bet. I can see Ethereum getting a 10K this bull run.
Yeah.
So.
So that would be almost 3x.
What?
That would be almost 3x.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. I like 300%.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So what's the next topic?
XRP. That's always so. We've got a question here from Cami. Is XRP good to buy now?
Yeah, but I like hedging into positions. So I don't like just if I want to put like $1,000 in.
Yeah.
I might put like 200 in this week, 200 in next week. Do dollar cost averaging like what you were saying, because it's not fun putting in $1,000 and then in a couple of days you lose 20%.
Yeah. Especially
as a new investor. So if you're buying weekly, that's something I learned last time. You're buying weekly, you do some dollar cost averaging, and if you do see the price drop, you're like, oh, nice, I got a deal. If you're not liquid, then you don't feel like a deal. It's a deal. You feel like you're getting sent through the trenches,
Yeah.
So I would say if you're buying, I would buy, maybe use 10% or 20% of what you want to put in total on it. I see XRP easily going down to possibly 85 cents or so.
Yeah.
But maybe wick down there, but go to like 94 cents, 87 cents, somewhere in that range. So if you wanted to wait a couple of days to see if that happened.
So that's for XRP.
XRP, yep.
One of the platforms that you can buy it on is Uphold. I know that Uphold in New York doesn't allow you to buy XRP.
Yeah, so then QCoin.
QCoin?
Yeah, you could still buy it. You can go onto Uphold, or you can go onto Coinbase. I think Coinbase is legal in New York. Buy one of those cryptocurrencies that you can get like Algo or something, and then send it over to QCoin.
Yeah.
And trade it into USD and make your trades there.
So QCoin, KuCoin. It's spelled KuCoin. That's one where you'd still be able to buy XRP in New York, and they don't have that one blocked.
No.
Okay. All right, because I know that's. I don't know about any other states, but that it's weird that if you go across state lines now, all of a sudden you can buy it.
Well, yeah, I know. Right? Well, what I would say is like they don't know you have the account, so it's like kind of one of those things like don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
If you're in New York, actually, if you're in America with QCoin,
yeah.
So you're not gonna have to fill out too much information, and it's kind of like yeah. That's
one of those platforms. Michael Copa says in Canada, Netcoins. If you're in Canada, Netcoins has XRP.
Awesome.
I haven't heard of that one. Do you guys have any other questions for Doug? Go ahead and put your questions in. So what about the pending court case for XRP? Have you heard anything?
Yeah, I was looking at that this morning. Not much on the home front. They're winning everything. Like the SEC, I think, won one argument in the past 8 months or whatever it's been going on for. There's just, honestly, I kind of think the judge is afraid of how much attention it's getting. Every single time there's a court case, I guess you can call in to the court case to listen in. It can take 4,000 people. And it immediately fills up within minutes.
Yeah.
So that's how many people are listening in. And she kind of made this statement at one point that because of the unusual amount of attention, I'm going to grant like in other words, I wouldn't do this in a normal circumstance, but I'm going to grant Ripple, that they're right in this circumstance. So it's like almost like, wait, so you would judge the other way if you didn't have
nobody was paying attention? Yeah.
So I just Ripple's got to win this thing. There's, obviously nothing's guaranteed, but I just don't see how, the backlash that they would get.
Yeah.
From doing what they normally do, which is letting the SEC win, is just not going to happen in this circumstance. There's too many upset people.
Yeah. So. When's the next case? It'll be in, the court date is in October at some point, right?
Yeah, well, actually, I think,
this month?
They could settle at any point.
Okay.
There's September on the 14th, where the judge would have to see the documents that the SEC redacted. They showed the document that was redacted. Everything on the document was redacted.
Yeah.
There wasn't a single word on there. So it was like, they're like, well, this is for privileged eyes. And it was all about what, anything that had to do with Ethereum, Bitcoin, or XRP in the list. And they redacted everything. So the judge said, no, it is important to see that. But what I'll do is I'll look at the documents and see if there's significance. And basically, if there is any significance to the case, and they said there wasn't, or it's for privileged eyes, I think the SEC is going to be bad. Now, on the other side, if I was going to be like the negative Nancy, I would probably say the judge, it kind of leaves the door open for the judge to hide stuff if she's in bed with them,
Yeah.
So we'll see where that goes. I'm optimistic.
So what do you think the price is going to be once this gets settled? And then also, will you be able to trade on Coinbase again? Will they open it up? Which I know they did the other day, right? They opened it up for like a short period of time.
By mistake.
By mistake? By mistake, okay.
I mean, how do you make a mistake? You're a publicly funded company. Seems like a pretty dumb thing.
That shows how easy it is, though, to shut it back on.
I mean, within seconds, it went up 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does show how easy it is. They can just, like, flip the switch.
Yeah.
So, I think, Coinbase has never liked XRP. They're one of those Bitcoin maxis. So it took forever for them to put it on in the first place. But I think they'll be forced to open it back up because they already had the whole reason they didn't want to put it on for the longest time, or their reasoning, was because it might be a security.
Yeah.
So if it gets labeled not a security and can trade in the United States, it's going to be they're going to have to. They're going to have to put it back on, and the price is going to go insane. And that's what I can't wait to see.
What do you think prediction wise? Just estimate.
Oh man. $1 billion.
$1 billion per XRP. And you have it, everybody. We're going to be billionaires.
So, now, conservatively, I'll be, super conservatively, I kind of doubt this will be the high, but $4.50.
Yeah.
To a high of $36, and I'm probably one of the higher people for that prediction. I think that's the least likely. I think somewhere between $7 and $13, $14.
I've seen higher predictions than that. I saw somebody who says that it's going to be like a global one world currency, and it's going to be $583 for the high.
589.
You've heard of what?
That's what their prediction is. 589. It's like a famous conspiracy.
Oh, it is.
But what I will say.
Yeah, so 589. That's the one. Yeah.
If you put the volume through 999 billion or 99 billion XRPs and figure that they're probably not all liquid, right? Well, we know at least half of them are liquid, potentially. But how many of them aren't? Because I have a bunch of mine on cold storage wallets.
Yeah.
Or they're just in my personal accounts that aren't available to sell and trade. So is 20, and I feel like that's what a lot of people are doing. So is it 20 billion? Is it 10 billion?
Yeah.
What's the actual liquid amount of XRP? And then you put 1.4, 1.5 quadrillion dollars through it annually. I mean, there's this lady that said if full adoption happened, that would be in the 300s, the $300 range.
Man.
And she was a Forex trader for a bank.
Yeah. So not just like anybody.
Not just anybody. She's worked in the industry for 20, 30 years in Australia.
Yeah.
So it's possible, but how long does full adoption take?
Yeah, that is true.
So I'm not counting on those. I mean, I'll hold a third of my position.
Yeah.
For a moonshot, but I'm not holding most of it. I'm selling most of it.
So what tips for getting started on investments in crypto? What would be what do you think is the biggest mistake to avoid? And then a resource that you would use to get started in cryptocurrencies?
Okay. So the biggest mistake I made in 2017 was buying halfway through the bull run, kind of where we potentially might be at now or towards the end, and saying hey, because you invested, let's say $5,000 and it went up 10,000, not selling it and holding all the way down to losing half of your 5,000. So you'd have 2,500 in the next year or two. So if you're getting in right now don't get greedy and say, I'm going to hold for long term. You can hold a portion of that for long term because nothing's guaranteed. The future isn't guaranteed. Maybe it keeps going up, but hold only like 20%, or at least get your original investment back out, depending on what you're investing in.
Yeah.
And buy to get yourself in the market to start following it, and just buy small portions weekly to kind of control how much you're spending. The resources, YouTube. There's this guy, BitBoy Crypto. He's kind of like the Alex Jones of cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
He's entertaining, but he knows a lot of what's going on in the markets. He's still got that conspiracy side to him, which makes, I don't know, I like Alex Jones because he's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then there's for the conservative side of things, and he's also a Christian, blockchain backer. He's more analytical.
Yeah.
And then Twitter. I mean, I get so much crypto news on Twitter. I'll type in Bitcoin at the top and start following, or XRP, Ethereum, whatever you're interested in.
Yeah.
And you start following people like that. Like I started started focusing on NFTs. So I followed all the retards that bought Gorilla UFTs, like cheap UFTs, just to kind of pay attention to it,
Yeah.
and see how people start getting wrecked and all that kind of stuff. So Twitter, YouTube, and you just start typing stuff in and figuring out who to follow.
Yeah. So there you have it. Coin Bureau is great for educational content, Michael McLean said. Have you heard about Casinocoin, based on the XRP network?
Yeah, I own Casinocoin.
He owns. Doug Johnson owns Casino.
I don't own it anymore.
You don't?
I used to.
What do you think about it?
I think it's gonna do. It's a risk.
Yeah.
They went through. I owned it when there was a huge team on there, and then they all just left, and this one guy kind of from the I think he was the tech guy, kind of picked it up, and there was all sorts of problems. So I'm like, screw this. I got out at a profit, small profit, but things started to turn around. So if he's serious and you trust that guy, it might be a really good money maker. Yeah. I just don't know if I trust the guy to be able to to just be one guy and you're the CTO, the chief technology officer. He's not always the guy that's gonna sell things. Yeah. He might be able to create something really great, but can he sell it? Can he make it a viable thing for the industry? Yeah, if you want to put $1,000 or a couple $100 towards it, and if you hit big, great. If you don't, you won't hate your life.
Just like going to a Casinocoin.
Yeah.
Put $100 in and see what happens.
Yeah.
The names on YouTube again are Blockchain Backer,
BitBoy Crypto.
BitBoy Crypto.
There's a bunch of good ones out there. Trying to think of just all crypto news. I mostly listen to XRP people because I'm most invested in that. But there's that Jeremy Hogan if you want to keep up. Jeremy Hogan or legal. What is that? Let me see here. Legal Briefs on YouTube.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer, and he fills you in on all the legal jargon on XRP. So he's a good one to follow just to keep up on the case and all that kind of stuff.
Any
Digital
ideas?
Asset investor for XRP.
Any ideas on Shiba Inu or Wife Doge?
Be careful, because you're probably gonna get wrecked. You might make a lot of money too, but probably gonna get wrecked. They're meme coins. I don't know. Like, I don't like investing in that kind of stuff until, you know when I'm gonna buy that? When the market completely dumps off and it's 80%, I'll put like $1,000 towards each of them.
Yeah.
Because they're probably gonna rock it because people are stupid.
What do you think?
If you're heavily invested in this.
What apps can a beginner use?
Uphold, Coinbase. Those are easy, very easy to use, and it's tied into your like bank account, and they're trusted. Like I trust those companies. And then once you start getting like a handle on things, you can start looking at other cryptocurrency sites like QCoin, BitTrue, and stuff like that. Once you start getting used to looking at them.
QCoin. Can you access QCoin from a computer, or do you have to do it with the app?
Oh yeah, you can use it on the computer.
Okay. Sandra, I would look into it again and see. If not, I would download it on your app, because mine did not say that you can that it's not for the USA when I downloaded it.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be limited on what you can do with QCoin.
Yeah.
Because you can't sign in. Like, you can't get full access
to everything.
To everything.
Yeah.
If you live in the US.
Yeah.
So I'll just leave it at that.
So definitely invest in XRP. Yes, both Doug and I agree. He's actually the one who got me interested more in cryptocurrencies, because before I met Doug, I thought it was all a scam, and I was a big believer in the hedge funds and private banks. And now I believe a little bit more in cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, and you'll be ahead of the private banks. You'll be selling your cryptocurrency.
I'll be buying the private banks.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. What do you... give me your 2 cryptocurrencies, the ones you're looking at right now.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, so Avalanche, it's smart contracts. So I actually heard this one on BitBoy Crypto. He said that there might be a good potential for gains. It could be a competitor to Solana. Same thing could happen with the Solana thing. So you could have that kind of expectation if you decide to buy it.
Yeah.
It's the fastest smart contracts in the industry. So I mean, imagine that with NFTs and all that kind of stuff. It's super cost effective and all that kind of stuff. So the next one is Digibyte, and that's DGB ticker symbol. I own this one. I've owned this since 2017.
Okay.
And it's a mineable cryptocurrency, which I'm not usually I don't really care too much for those, but it's based on 5 different algorithms.
Okay.
So you can mine it on 5 different algorithms. It's a little bit more secure than Bitcoin. Well, a lot more secure than Bitcoin, in that sense. I think it's priced in at 5 cents right now, a little more than that. So it hasn't really moved compared to the rest of the market. So its all-time high was like 13 cents.
Okay.
So there's, if it's going to go higher than that, even if it meets that, that's still a pretty good trade right there.
Yeah.
It does have a smart contract layer, so you can build, which I think is going to be the key for the future. You can build NFTs on them, and then it's got a public ledger. It's core protocol featuring nodes communication to relay transactions. So that's how it operates. It could be I don't think it's going to be the biggest player in the game for NFTs, but I think it could take some market shares, and that could make the price go up a lot. They have a strong community.
Yeah. So DGB and Avalanche.
Yeah.
So
And that's AVAX.
AVAX.
Yeah.
AVAX and DGB. So Digibyte and Avalanche for the two high-risk cryptocurrencies, because all of them are high-risk.
Well, let me bring up one more thing here that this is another thing that BitBoy Crypto brought up, and I thought it was interesting because this kind of shows where this NFT thing is going. There's this I guess it's going to be a decentralized exchange called Opulus or something, or Opulus, and that's OPOLOUS. It's not out yet, but I'm going to keep my eye on it. It's a decentralized finance platform that the music industry can upload music and sell their music on the blockchain.
Yeah.
So it'll create a smart contract for what's his name? Who's the crazy guy? The black crazy guy that
Kanye West?
Kanye West. Imagine him put out that new album on a blockchain. He doesn't need didn't they release it? Was it Universal? Who's
Universal.
Universal?
Yeah.
They released his album before he wanted to, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
That's what he said,
imagine, he could release it exactly when he wants to, for the price he wants to, on how many albums, and he would get the money from that, not Universal Studio or any of these other huge. So they're gonna fight against it because there's a lot of money in that industry, but I don't know how they can. I don't think they'll be able to beat it.
That could potentially be a game changer.
Yeah, if they can't shut it down,
Yeah.
I don't see how they can.
Because right now I've even been seeing articles that I've been reading on artists that have been singing on TikTok, and they get contracts from the music industry for their music because there's so much interest in it.
Yeah.
But they're not, they're not making a lot of money, and they're not going on tour or anything like that. So that, this would be something where they can bypass the big music industries and they can just tell their followers, hey, my music is on here. Boom.
Yeah, and they can make as many NFTs as they want.
Yeah.
And sell their money directly to the user, bypassing that entire industry.
Yeah.
That's they're like slave, they make a ton of money off of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's going to be insane. This decentralized thing could really be great. It could be like the biggest wealth transfer that we see in the world to date.
Yeah, I agree with that. So the ticker symbols were AVAX.
That's for Avalanche. This is Opulus or something.
Yeah.
OPOLOUS.
Opulus.
You can't buy it right now, but it's in the beta form. So you have to sign up for it. But when it does get released, I'll probably be buying some.
Okay.
Whatever the price is at, I'm just going to buy as much as I can.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be the first ones, I think, to the music industry, and I think that's going to explode.
So Opulus and Avalanche for cryptocurrency, AVAX, and DGB.
Right.
So Opulus is not released yet. OPOLOUS.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Doug, for coming on. I appreciate it. We'll do this again soon. And
Sounds good, man.
what we'll do actually is, if you'd like to direct message our Instagram, let's check the market. Follow us on Instagram and then send us a direct message with questions for Doug, and then I'll have him on again, and we'll go over whatever questions you have. So we'll do that. Awesome. Thank you so much, Doug. I really appreciate it.
All right, have a good one, man.
All right, you
Thank
too.
you.
See ya.
See ya.
That was Doug Johnson, our resident cryptocurrency expert on Check the Market. Thanks so much for tuning in today. If you'd like to donate to Revival today, you can do so by going to revivaltoday.com/give, or you can do hashtag donate on Facebook. Text RD to 50155, $RTGive, Venmo at RTGive. You can go to revivaltoday.com/PayPal if you'd like to give by PayPal. We also accept cryptocurrencies. So you just scan that QR code there, or if that's too complicated, you can call us at 412-446-2332 if you'd like to donate today. Or you can send us a check to Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, Pennsylvania, 15329. Then don't forget to claim your offer, which if you haven't already got this book, the little book on common sense investing by John C. Bogle. I'll offer that one today for a gift of any size. If you haven't gotten it, that's one of the main staples in any investor's library that you need to have. So we'll send that to you. Make sure you claim your offer, and we'll get that out to you. If at any point last week you donated to get this book, it wasn't up on claim your offer at that point, so go ahead and claim your offer. Make sure you get it for last week. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We're going to have Revival Today live show coming up at 11 a.m. Then at 4 p.m., we'll have live with Miss Maddie Ortiz. And then check the news tonight. So make sure you tune in for all of those. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in with Doug and I. Make sure you check us out on Instagram. Let's check the market. Follow us. Send us a direct message if you have any questions for Doug or about cryptocurrencies, or even if you have questions about any specific stocks that you would like me to take a quick look at, then you can send those to us. And and we'll do this again. We'll have another Crypto Friday or Crypto Wednesday whenever we decide to have it, and we'll go over some more cryptocurrencies. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in today, for hanging out with us. Have a great weekend. Go out there, make some money today, and I will see you all on Monday.